let's talk about the company background. Tata Group was founded in 1868 by Jamsetji Nosarwangi Tata and is considered one of India's oldest and most diversified multinational corporations. The group operates in more than 100 countries and has businesses in industries such as automobiles, steel, technology, consumer goods, and hospitality. Within this group, hospitality is represented by IHCL, the parent company of Tata Hotels. IHCL was incorporated in 1902 with the vision of creating world-class hospitality in India. Its flagship hotel, the Taj Mahal Palace, opened in Mumbai in 1903 and became the first luxury hotel in India built to international standards. What makes Taj Hotels unique is that it combines luxury with Indian culture and hospitality traditions. This cultural identity became a major competitive advantage because the brand offers experiences that are different from Western luxury hotel chains. Over the years, the hotels expanded rapidly, and today the company operates hundreds of hotels across India and internationally, with iconic properties in cities such as London, New York City, Dubai, and Cape Town. Now let's move to the SWOT analysis. Starting with the strengths, Taj Hotels has a very strong brand heritage. The company has more than 120 years of history and was recognized as the world's strongest hotel brand in 2025. Another important strength is its authentic cultural identity, since the company integrates Indian traditions, cuisine, and service into the guest experience. In addition, Taj Hotels has a diverse portfolio of brands, from ultra-luxury palaces to more affordable hotels like Ginger. The company also has a strong loyalty ecosystem through programs such as No Pays and Tag Inner Circle, which help maintain customer loyalty and generate long-term revenue. And the company has shown strong recovery and growth with increasing revenues and profitability. However, the company also faces some weaknesses compared with global giants such as Marriott International or Hilton Worldwide. Taj Hotels still has a smaller international scale. Another weakness is the high maintenance cost of its luxury and heritage properties, which can reduce the profit margins. And also, much of its businesses is still concentrated in India, meaning international diversification is more limited. Regarding the opportunities, the growth of tourism in India represents a huge advantage for the company. Taj Hotels is also expanding into regions such as the Middle East of Africa, including its future project in Egypt. Another opportunity comes from the increasing demand for wellness and experiential travel, where travelers look for personalized and culturally immersive experiences. Finally, there are important threats. The company competes directly with major global hotel chains like Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, and IHG, which have larger global networks and marketing budgets. And Taj Hotels also faces competition from platforms such as Airbnb. And in addition, economic instability, geopolitical risk, and rising labor costs can affect the luxury hospitality industry significantly. So to conclude, Taj Hotels is an excellent example of how a company can preserve its cultural identity while expanding globally. And through its combination of Indian heritage, luxury hospitality, and international growth strategy, IHCL has positioned Taj Hotels as one of the strongest hospitality brands in the world.
To select 5 countries for international expansion, we evaluated tourism attractiveness, proximity to India or other Taj Hotel destinations, and how well Taj Hotels' luxury Indian-inspired identity could fit into each market. The first country is the Philippines. It has a strong hospitality culture and growing luxury tourism, which could align very well with Taj's hotel philosophy of personalized service. And destinations like Boracay or Cebu could be ideal for a luxury resort. Second, we have Singapore. It offers a modern and urban luxury environment. It has strong Indian influences and world-class infrastructure, and a constant tourism growth, which makes it a strategic location for a city-style Taj hotel. Third is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is heavily investing in tourism and hospitality through its Vision 2030. Combined with this and its large Indian community and rapid development, it presents a strong opportunity for Taj hotels. Fourth is Japan, which stands out for its growing tourism and increasing demand for sustainable luxury travel. Taj Hotels could differentiate itself through eco-friendly luxury experiences in places like Hokkaido or Okinawa. And finally, Spain, which offers a unique blend of culture, architecture, and luxury tourism growth. And with rising investments in sustainable luxury hospitality, Taj Hotels could bring a differentiated experience to the European market.
In the quantitative analysis, we studied 5 countries for hotel investment by Tag Hotels: Japan, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and Spain. The data used covers the period from 2020 to 2024, except for the TTDI. This period is important because it shows how countries were affected by recent global changes and how stable the recovery has been. For this analysis, we used 5 variables and one extra variable. These variables were grouped in 2 types: the general and specific to tourism. The general variables are GDP per capita. This shows the average income level of a country and gives an idea of the purchasing power. Regulatory quality. This helps to understand the economy and institutional context of each country. This is very important before making an investment decision. And political stability. This is essential to ensure a safe and predictable environment. The specific tourist variable are international tourist arrivals. These directly reflect demand, and in both tourist expenditure, this directly reflects revenue generation and in the hotel sector. As an extra variable, we include the Travel and Tourist Development Index. This provides a long-term view and helps to understand if a country can continue develop its tourism sector in the future. Each variable was given an importance level from 1 to 5. The specific tourism variable and the TDI are the most relevant with 5 points. Without the tourist and without expanding to the hotel business will not be sustainable. GDP per capita and regulatory quality are very important with 4 points. They create the necessary conditions for investment and helps reduce risk. And the political stability has 3 points. It has a more indirect effects compared to other variables, although it remains important. We applied a scoring system from 1 to 5 for each variable. The maximum possible score is 30. These were the results. Spain stands out as the country with the highest overall performance, with a score of 24. This result is mainly explained by its strong tourist demand, high levels of tourist spending, and excellent performance in the TTDI. Spain offers a well-developed tourist market within a large number of visitors and high revenue potential, which makes it very attractive for hotel investment. Japan and Singapore share the second position with a score of 23, but for different reasons. Japan shows a more balanced performance across all variables, with high political stability, strong regulatory quality, and a solid recovery in tourism. This makes it a reliable option, especially for long-term investment strategies. And Singapore, on the other hand, stands out for its excellent economic and institutional condition, including the highest GDP per capita and very strong governance indicators. However, its tourism market is smaller, which may limit growth compared to Spain. Saudi Arabia is positioned in the middle of the ranking with a score of 18, While it shows good economic indicators on growing tourist activities, its lower levels of political stability and regulatory quality suggest a high level of uncertainty. Even though the country is making important effort to develop its tourism sector, it is still in a transition phase, which made it move higher risks for investors. Finally, the Philippines ranks last within a score of 10, although it has tourist potential and natural attractions, its economic limitations, weaker institutional environment, and lower performance in the TTDI reduce its attractiveness for large-scale hotels investment. Overall, the results suggest that the best three countries to choose are Spain, Japan, and Singapore. They have the scores close to 30, the maximum scores. Each country offers a different type of opportunity. Spain has a high demand market with a strong revenue potential. Japan is a stable and balanced option. And Singapore has a highest efficient and business friendly environment.
First, we made a qualitative analysis using the Pestel model to compare Spain, Japan, and Singapore. Spain has a very strong tourism industry because have a modern infrastructure and millions of international visitors every year. It also has political stability and good business conditions because it is part of the European Union. However, we found that the luxury hotel market in Spain is already very saturated with brands like Marriott and Hilton, so competition is extremely high. Um, Japan also showed very strong opportunities, but it has a stable economy, advanced technology, and a cultural that values services, quality, and customer experience, which fits very well with Tag hotels. That the luxury identity. But entering Japan, it can be more difficult because operational costs are very high, and customer expectations are extremely demanding. After comparing all the countries, we conclude that Singapore is the best option. Because Singapore offers political stability, a business-friendly environment, advanced infrastructure, and one of the strongest economy in Asia. It is also a global hub for tourism, finance, and international business, which create a strong demand for luxury hospitality services. And another important advantage is that Singapore is multicultural and international oriented, so it will be easier to for Tag hotels to adapt and connect with customers from different parts of the world. Even though Spain had very good quantitative results because of tourism demand and infrastructure, our qualitative analysis showed that Singapore offers better long-term opportunities compared to Spain and Japan. Singapore has the best balance between economy strength, institutional stability, global connectivity, and business efficiency. We also considered a cultural adaptation and market integration. Singapore's international business culture make it easier for foreign companies to operate successfully there. For all these reasons, we select Singapore as the best destination for Tag Hotels international expansion. After choosing Singapore, the next step was deciding the best entry strategy. We analyzed different options such as greenfield investment, mergers and acquisitions, franchising, and joint ventures. Finally, we conclude that the best strategy is a joint venture with a local partner. A joint venture allows tag hotels to share risk, reduce costs, and learn more about the local market while still maintaining operational and control
control, operational control, and service quality. This strategy is especially important because Singapore already has a very competitive luxury hospitality industry with international brands like Hilton and Four Seasons. Working with a local partner will help TAG hotels access business networks, understand customers' preference, and adapt more easily to the market. We also connected this strategy with international theories from Hill, especially for indirect investment, strategy, alliances, and the OLI framework. These theories explain that companies are more successful internationally when they combine their global strengths with local market knowledge. So, in conclusion, our research showed that Singapore is the most attractive country for tech hotels to expand internationally. The country offers economic stability, strong tourism demand, advanced infrastructure, and excellent business conditions. At the same time, using a joint venture strategy will help tech hotels reduce risk, adapt to the local market, and build a strong long-term presence in Singapore's luxury hospitality industry.
Now I'm going to present the marketing and R&D strategies proposed for tag hotels in Singapore. First, the most appropriate strategy for tag hotels in Singapore is a transnational strategy. This means the company keeps a strong and consistent global luxury identity while adapting its services and communication to local cultural preferences. This strategy fits Singapore perfectly because Singapore is both a global financial center and a multicultural society with a strong South Asian cultural connections. The hotels can therefore attract international luxury travelers while also connecting emotionally with Singapore's large Indian community. The main objective is to position Tag Hotels as the ultimate expression of Indian heritage luxury in Singapore, differentiating itself from Western luxury hotels chains like Marriott International, Hilton Worldwide, and Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. What truly differentiates Tag Hotels is the tagness, because it's the company philosophy of warm, personalized Indian hospitality, and this creates an authentic luxury experience that competitors cannot easily replicate. Let's move to the fourth piece, starting with product. The product offered by Tag Hotels is much more than accommodation. It is a complete luxury hospitality experience deeply connected to Indian culture and heritage. The hotel in Singapore could include ultra-luxury rooms and suites that combine Indian craftsmanship with Singaporean modern design. Guests could experience elegant interiors, handcraft decoration, and locally sourced materials. The hotel could also feature a signature Indian fine dining restaurant together with a contemporary Asian fusion restaurant, adapting to Singapore's multicultural environment. Tag Hotels can leverage its experience through TagSats, which combines Indian culinary excellence with Singaporean operational efficiency. Another key element is the Jiva Spa, Tag's wellness brand, designed to provide premium wellness experiences inspired by Indian traditions. Additionally, the hotel could target Singapore's strong corporate and diplomatic market by offering premium event and conference facilities for business meetings and international events. Finally, Tag Hotels would organize curated cultural experiences such as Indian music, gastronomy, and art events, helping international visitors connect with Indian culture while reinforcing the uniqueness of the brand. Now let's discuss the price. Singapore has one of the highest GDPs per capita in the world, which supports a premium luxury pricing strategy. Taj hotels should therefore use value-based pricing, meaning prices are based on the perceived value and exclusivity of the experience rather than simply operational costs. The company should also implement dynamic pricing strategies, adjusting room rates according to international events, business conferences, tourism demand, and seasonal changes. Importantly, the hotels should avoid excessive discounts because discounting could damage its luxury image and reduce brand exclusivity. The third element is the place. The location is critical for success in Singapore. The ideal location would be Marina Bay because this area is close to convention centers, corporate headquarters, and iconic waterfront attraction and the greatest view. With positioning would allow Taj hotels to attract both cultural leisure travelers and business travelers, especially the MICE market, meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And regarding distribution channels, the company should prioritize direct bookings through its own website and loyalty programs to reduce dependence on online travel agencies. At the same time, Taj hotels should collaborate with luxury travel advisors such as American Express, with ultra high net worth travelers. Global distribution systems could also remain important for corporate and institutional bookings. And finally, promotion. The promotional strategy should focus on exclusivity, digital storytelling, and cultural positioning. One important strategy is collaborating with luxury travel influencers and lifestyle creators whose audiences are interested in cultural tourism, fine dining, and luxury experiences. The company should also organize exclusive pre-opening events for diplomats, business leaders, media representatives, and luxury travel advisors in Singapore. Digitally, the hotels should create a Singapore-specific online presence through its website, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, showcasing the hotel's architecture, Indian heritage, gastronomy, and luxury experiences. Additionally, partnerships with prestigious magazines such as Vogue Singapore would help strengthen Taj Hotels' luxury reputation and visibility in Singaporean market. So to conclude, Taj Hotels' marketing strategy in Singapore successfully combines global luxury standards with local cultural adaptation through its transnational strategy and carefully designed four-piece. The company can position itself as a unique and differentiated luxury hospitality brand in one of Asia's most competitive markets.
To determine the best strategy for Taj Hotel's internationalization, it is important to understand the difference between push and pull strategies. A push strategy focuses on aggressively reaching the customer through advertising, promotion, and quickly creating awareness. In contrast, a pull strategy attracts customers naturally by building a strong brand image and creating value that customers actively seek out. If Taj Hotels relies too heavily in push marketing, it could damage the brand's exclusivity luxury image. The best option is a hybrid strategy with a stronger focus on pull marketing. In Singapore, Taj Hotels could strengthen its brand through social media campaigns that highlight Tajness and luxury experiences. It could also create partnerships with platforms such as Vogue Singapore and Tata Singapore, or collaborate with luxury travel influencers that help attract high-end travelers organically. Some push strategies could be used, but in a B2B context, by partnering with luxury travel advisor networks such as Virtuoso or American Express, and these advisors could recommend directly Taj Hotels to these ultra-high net worth travelers visiting Singapore.
Okay, so in this part, I'm going to be presenting about the opportunities and challenges of expanding in Singapore. So first, it is important to understand why Singapore is attractive for Taj Hotels. Singapore is one of the strongest business and tourism hubs in Asia. The country has excellent infrastructure, political stability, and many international trade agreements. And because of this, millions of travelers visit Singapore every year for business, tourism, and international events. One major opportunity is Singapore's connection to ASEAN, which allows easier movement between Southeast Asian countries. Business travelers often visit several countries in one trip, and Singapore acts as a central point for those travelers. This creates strong demand for luxury hotels that can serve international guests. Another important opportunity in Singapore's global connectivity is the Changi Airport, which is one of the busiest airports in the world, receiving millions of passengers every year. A high number of travelers means more potential customers for hotels. In addition, the Singapore government invests heavily in tourism promotion and infrastructure, which benefits all hospitality companies operating there. For Thai hotels specifically, there is also a cultural advantage. Singapore has a large Indian community with around 650,000 people of Indian origin living there. Many of these people already know and trust the Taha brand because of its strong reputation in India. In fact, Taha was ranked as the world's strongest hotel brand in 2025. Because of this existing recognition, Taha would not need to spend as much money in introducing the brand to customers. Singapore also offers a stable business friendly environment. The government has clear regulations, low corruption, and strong legal protections for investors. This reduces uncertainty for companies making long term investments. Another advantage is the corporate tax rate, which is only 17% lower than in many other countries. Foreign companies are also allowed to fully own hotels in Singapore if they choose to do so. However, despite these opportunities, there are also serious challenges. The first challenge is strong competition. Singapore already has many established luxury hotel brands such as Marriott International, Hilton, and Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. These companies already have loyal customers and large marketing networks. For TAH, entertaining and entering this market would require significant investment in branding and promotion to compete effectively. Another major challenge is Singapore's dependence on international tourism. During COVID 19, tourism arrivals dropped dramatically, showing how vulnerable the market can be during global crises. Since Singapore has limited domestic tourism compared to larger countries, hotels depend heavily on foreign visitors. If another pandemic or economic crisis happens, then luxury hotels could lose more money even quicker. One of the biggest challenges for TAH is maintaining its famous Tahna service style. The hotels are known for personalized Indian hospitality and service culture. However, Singapore's labor laws require that most hotel workers be local citizens or permanent residents. This means TAH cannot simply bring large numbers of trained Indian employees to Singapore. Instead, it would need to train local workers to deliver the same luxury experience. If the service quality does not feel authentic, customers may not see enough value in paying luxury prices. Labor costs are also much higher in Singapore than in India. Luxury hotels require many employees to provide personalized service, so higher salaries significantly increase operating costs. And in addition, land in Singapore is extremely expensive because the country is so small and land is limited. So building a completely new luxury hotel would require a massive initial investment. Environmental regulations create another challenge. Because Singapore has carbon taxes and strict sustainability requirements for new buildings. And hotels use large amounts of electricity and energy, so these environmental policies increase operating and construction costs. Because of all of these challenges, the paper argues that the hotels should not use traditional greenfield investment strategy where the company builds and owns a hotel completely on its own. Instead, the best option would be an asset-light FDI strategy. This means that who could expand through management contracts or joint ventures with local companies. With this strategy, TAH can still control the brand and hotel operations without spending huge amounts of money on land and construction. This approach would reduce financial risk, help the company adapt more easily to local regulations, and still allow TAH hotels to expand internationally. So, in conclusion, Singapore offers strong opportunities because of tourism, business travel, infrastructure, and political stability. However, high costs, labor restrictions, and strong competition make a full investment very risky. For that reason, an asset light strategy is the smartest and safest option for Thai hotels in Singapore.